Good evening. I am Dr. Ron Daniels, President of the Institute of the Black World 21st Century. It is my pleasure to welcome you to an exciting launch of a powerful Pan-African platform, the Black World Media Network. It is the legacy project of the legendary Don Rojas. Don Rojas, who was the press secretary for Maurice Bishop, also the press secretary for the NAACP, worked with as the general manager and editor of the Amsterdam News, general manager of WBAI, Free Speech Television. It goes on and on and on. And the founder of something you may have recalled from back in the day called the Black World Today. Most recently, he's also the person he's an innovative genius, actually, you know. The University of West Indies Television is his most recent project. We are so honored at the Institute of the Black World 21st Century to have him be our Director of Communications and International Relations. And so this is, again, his legacy project. This is something he has envisioned for a long time, along with some of his running buddies that you're going to meet shortly. And we're going to have you join us for this exciting project. And we want you to be a part of it. We want you to clue in and in the chat, put in your ideas that we can use to partner with people who may want to be a part of it. So we're going to be asking you to send in your comments as we proceed through the evening. But to get us started, we want to sort of go back a little bit in order to talk about how we move forward. In other words, how do we move from the Black World Today to the launch of the Black World Media Network? In order to do that, it's my pleasure to welcome Rick Adams. Rick Adams is my buddy from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm from the Hill District of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, so that's my second home. And Rick Adams is a chair of the IBW Board, Institute of the Black World 21st Century Board. He is also with the Western PA Black Political Assembly, going all the way back to Gary. We're commemorating that 50 years anniversary this coming year. Former school board member, radio talk show host, and on and on and on. Also a former assistant dean at Allegheny College Community College. So he's done a whole lot of stuff, and he and I have been partners, not in crime, but in liberation for a long time, in order to talk about, again, from the Black World Today to the whole question of the Black World Media Network. I introduce none other than Rick Adams. Rick, take it away.
All right, Brother Dr. D, as we call him affectionately, our president and leader. I'm Rick Adams, and I go by several handles, as you've heard. Dr. D, you've already given the bona fides for Don Rojas. Let me say a few things about Herb Boyd, and then I want to do a little bit to put our conversation in a little bit of a context. We don't have a lot of time, but let me just say that I am very honored. These are two brothers that fired me up a long time ago. I mean, I live off their inspiration, their information, and how they do things. Every day I'd get up and go, and I had to check out the Black World Today. I mean, I just religiously had to do that. And Brother Herb is an American journalist, an educator, author, and activist. He has authored, co-authored, edited, or co-edited 23 books. And I was going to do their whole background, these two, but I spent all afternoon and I just cut it down. And Dr. D helped me out because he put out just a little of Don Rojas's background. But let me just say, Brother Boyd has written a biography of James Baldwin, which got him a 2009 NAACP Image Award. Jazz Space Detroit, Photographs of Black Music, Jazz and Dance, African History for Beginners, Brother Man, The Odyssey of Black Men in America, and on and on. Probably one of the latest you may be hip to is a book, Yesterday and Today by Any Means Necessary, Malcolm X, Real, Not Reinvented. So it's a distinct pleasure to have these two brothers and be just in their company to soak up some of that visionary energy. Let me tell you this, the Black World Today, when it started, an article, an interview with Don Rojas, it was observed that just under 20% of Black people, Black Americans, were online. Under 20%. Well, today the story's totally different. They were ahead of their time. Now they're on time once again. Overall, 72% of all African Americans and 98% of those age 18 to 29 either have broadband connections or they got a smartphone. And what you're going to hear tonight is how we're going to address that very reality, so different from, what was that, 1995, around the Million Man
1996,
March? How
just
did you
after
come
the
to this
Million
vision?
Man, yeah, 1 year after. Yeah.
All right. So it was in that energy, that space at that time. How did you come to this visionary project? How did you two hook up? Tell us some of that story.
Well, thank you, Brother Rick. It's great to be in your company. It's great to be in the company of all of our speakers and participants this evening, and especially my brother Herb Boyd. I met Herb when I was editor of the New York Amsterdam News, and Herb was the main political writer, the most senior of the staff, actually. And since then, we have bonded together as friends, as comrades, both at the personal level and also at the family level. I invited her to come join me in 19, let's see, we launched in July 1st, 1996, The Black World Today. Back in those days, digital journalism was just emerging. I had been witnessing, been observing the growth of digital media. I got very excited because coming from a background of many years in print journalism, did some radio in New York, back in the days of WLIB, I begun to realize that there is this new platform that will be the wave of the future in terms of communications to our people here in the US and indeed around the world. So with that recognition of this potential, I went out on a limb and launched The Black World Today, and invited my comrade and friend Herb to join me as national editor. And a year or so later, we launched a historical or history education initiative within The Black World Today, known as Sankofa University at the time. And Herb Boyd was the director of Sankofa University. And here we are now. If we fast forward, 22, 24 years or so, we find ourselves working again on a similar kind of project. You might call it TBWT 2.0, the Black World Media Network. So, Herbie, look, it's just an honor to have you back in the camp, and I look forward to working with you. In fact, let me make a quick announcement. I am delighted to announce that Herb Boyd, one of the most prolific writers in America, not just in Black America, but in America, period, has agreed to be an editor for us, to edit a new arts and culture section of the Black World Media Network that we are thinking of launching. So anyway, let me turn it over to my man, Herbie.
D-Ski, we ride together. You know, when the stagecoach pull out, I'm riding shotgun with you all the time. But there's no one on the planet that I'd share the foxhole with you no matter what. You've been my man ever since I didn't know you. I remember Michelle Russell came to me. Michelle Russell goes back to Detroit with Kenny Cockrell and the League of Revolutionary Black Workers, the Dodge Revolutionary Union Movement, all of those activist revolutionaries in Detroit. But she was one of the, they had one called DARE, and she was one of the principal leaders of the League. And she got in touch with me. I was living in New York. I had left Detroit in 1985, living in New York for the third time. And she said, Herb, you know, she started talking about Grenada.
The program.
I think it's bouncing. But anyway, she was talking about Grenada to me in terms of the possibility of going down there. And that was just a few months. That was in 1983, just a few months before the invasion. And I was virtually packed and ready to join Michelle down there. And all of the crap hit the fan. And that ended our opportunity to meet Don in 1983. But as fate would have it, he walked into the doors of the Amsterdam News. And I was so excited to have him there because I knew of his revolutionary resume. And it was about time the paper had that kind of radical tinge, radical edge to it, because for the most part, it had been characterized as no more than, kind of a social media get together, folks, and not doing anything really political. But once he came aboard, I knew that we were going to be moving in a new direction. And it wasn't too long after that. I can remember some of the individuals involved in facilitating his move there. I remember we had that meeting with Reginald Lewis, the late Reginald Lewis, and he was like moving in a very, very instrumental way in revising the whole NAACP. And we have so many individuals, Don, at that time who came into our sphere of influence, and it's good to see a few of them right here with us, and they move right along with us, Rick, and Ron. I mean, I've been connected with Dr. D so long, and I think that's a very permanent association, of course, with Michael and Todd and Rennie. I mean, you rounded up the usual suspects.
Well, we rounded up the usual suspects, and we could reminisce for a long time. And
I know we can.
Thank you, Chairman Rick, for introducing this segment. But we got to get down to taking a look at what this platform is actually going to look like. We say it's exciting, it's innovative. It came out of the brain of the legendary Don Rojas. So, folks, we're going to take you on a visual view of the Black world today. So bring it up so the folks can see what it looks like.
Hello, sisters and brothers. I'm Don Rojas, Communications Director for the Institute of the Black World 21st Century and the originator of the Black World Media Network. And I'd like to introduce you to the network's website and take you on a brief tour, assisted by my colleague, Michael Codrington. The site is the flagship platform for the entire network, which consists of a presence on the World Wide Web and on 5 of the main social media platforms: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. It is a dynamic, interactive multimedia site with up-to-date news, information, and culture from and about today's Black world. We don't have the time this evening to do a detailed tour, so we'd like to first point out the many links under the banner at the top of the page that will connect the site's visitors to the many, many pages that are inside the site and that contain a wide variety of compelling multimedia content. However, we like to spend a minute or two on the centerpiece of the entire network, which is what we have called the Black World Radio platform. There is a 24/7 audio stream of conscious progressive music produced by some of the most talented singers and musicians from Black America, Africa, the Caribbean, and Latin America. And this conscious music is mixed in with news headlines, public service announcements, and jingles. To encourage active engagement with our listeners, we have built into the station's interface the ability to share the radio broadcasts to one's Facebook page and one's Twitter feed. And if listeners have a website of their own, they can embed the code of this player to their own site. Also, we encourage our listeners to send us ideas and suggestions for our conscious music playlist. And by calling our global toll-free 800 number, listeners can send audio shout-outs and greetings to family and friends all around the world. And citizen journalists can use the number to send reports from their respective communities. These greetings and reports will be recorded and inserted into the Internet Radio's 24/7 audio stream. The station has the capability of broadcasting live events of significance from any community in the Black world. These live broadcasts will be recorded and replayed on the stream and will also be available as podcasts and as on-demand audios. Finally, through our mobile apps, downloadable onto cell phones, tablets, and laptops, listeners can take our internet station with them and listen while being on the move. They can even connect their cell phones into their car audio systems and listen while driving. Sisters and brothers, the Black World radio programming will be ubiquitous, meaning you can listen to it anywhere, anytime, and on any device. Please spread the word among your own networks. Thank you.
Okay, all right. I told you this brother's a genius, right? A long way from the Black world today. That was great, but this is like amazing. And speaking about amazing, the next person I'm going to bring into this conversation I first met, and you will meet later, the former general manager and program director of WWRL. WWRL. And, and I heard about this guy named George Fraser. He had a book called Success Runs in Our Race. I think I met him through Bob Law. And since that time, we've been joined at the hip. We're both from the same region of the country, Northeast Ohio, and so forth and so on. He has the Power Networking Conference. He has the largest network of conscious Black professionals in the world, and most recently launched Fraser Nation, a virtual nation that has 1 million people in it. And on his platforms, he has 500,000 people. And so he didn't have to be messing around with us. He could have said, I got my own stuff. Yeah, but that's not George Fraser. He's always willing to share. He sees that as a way of moving forward. So he was one of the first persons to say, I'm on board and I'm going to push this. We welcome now the amazing George Fraser, the founder of FraserNet and the Power Networking Conference and Fraser Nation. George, welcome.
Hey, thank you so much, Dr. Ron. Listen, this is the royalty of OGs, right? This is royalty right here, right? The kings and queens of OGs. I mean, the conscious brothers and sisters who have committed their lives to the struggle and committed their lives to the upliftment and the advancement of our people. They do it editorially, either they're writing or they're speaking or they're just making things happen where they are. And I know them all, and I love. It's just an honor to be a part and to be considered in this class of royalty as it relates to conscious brothers and sisters.
So, George, let me ask you.
Yes, my contribution.
No, first, before you give your contribution, what do you think about the platform? What's your sense of where this fits within modern communications, coming out of the brain of this Don Lowe?
It is phenomenal. I mean, where else do we have this? Who's even thought of this? Right? It's phenomenal. And of course, it has to happen because the whole world is evolving and the whole world is being captured by this thing called the internet, the World Wide Web. I mean, what a way to connect people. And what a way to get our information out. What a way to help change the negative imagery of our people. What a way to reprogram our people and give positive news and positive perspectives, right? So no, it is phenomenal. It's visionary, it's groundbreaking, and it will be, I consider this to be a legacy project.
Right.
I think you sort of framed that when you teed this up. Right? This will live way beyond the multi-genius of Don Rojas.
Right. And George, what will you be contributing? I mean, we're first of all honored to have you. So what are you going to contribute to this platform?
Well, 3 things. A, whenever you need for me to communicate, whatever you need for me to communicate to my network, Fraser Nation, We have the instrument, the vessels, the tools, and the reach through the 5 platforms, through special emails that we do, and things that I talk about every day on my platform, which will be woven into the whole concept of this new communications platform. So whatever I have and whatever reach I have, you now have. All right. So that's A. B, I'm going to contribute some content. I talk and speak for a living. We're going to have a podcast. It'll be a Fraser Nation podcast, but what am I going to talk about on it? I'm going to talk about Black Excellence 2.0, right? Excellence at the next level, because Black people can't be average or mediocre, right? We have to be amazing. Right? So we're going to talk about what does it take to be amazing? Who is amazing? What are the qualities of amazingness? How do you get there? How do we teach our children? What are the things that we need to be thinking about, talking about, unpacking, training, and infusing into our people well beyond our years, Dr. Ron Daniels. So this is, in a sense, a legacy project for everybody on here.
Exactly.
Right? That's
right.
really what it is. I mean, it's led by this great visionary multi-genius, right? Don Rojas, but he has given us a platform, really, that our speaking, our writings, our thinking, our passion about what we know is right for our people, to give us this kind of platform.
And then finally, because I know you got another meeting to go to, so you get the Holy Ghost up in here and you'll miss your meeting. So what's the third thing?
Well, the third thing is to bring an audience, a righteous audience, that will help sustain it. This is sustained by viewership and readership, right? That's how you sustain these things. That's how you get advertisers, right? And what they're looking at are the numbers. So to help build the platform with the right numbers, the right statistics, the right branding, the right framing, right? I'm a brand guy. I spent 13 years in brand management with Procter & Gamble, right? The beast of branding and marketing. So, and Don ain't no chicken soup himself. And neither is anybody on here, including, Reverend Dillon. So whatever I can add in terms of advice, counsel, consultation, right? Count me in. Whatever.
All right.
Right. That's what I bring.
Okay, well, we
Thank
appreciate
you
you so much, and we know you got to jump off as president of Fraser Nation and take care of the nation. So we appreciate you just dropping in and giving us a little bit of that wisdom. Success does run in our race. Race for Success. Connect, all of those good books that are available on your platforms. Thank you so much. Really, really, really appreciate it.
Love you all, and it's an honor to be with you. Herb, good to see you, Don. Stay the course. Rick, of course. Rennie, of course. Dr. Lovelace, keep doing what you do, right?
All right, and we are saying that we are connecting our Black world. Connecting our Black world. We're Pan-Africanists, but we're going to be connecting our Black world. So this is truly a Pan-African platform. And so you had a visual tour of the platform, and the centerpiece will be the radio 24/7. It will be providing culture, music, and information, all conscious music and information. And it will be with people from all over the world. So now I'm going to give you another taste, because all the way from South Africa, I want you to meet Myra Ndaba. She is the South African sister who is going to be doing our Black headline news. Would you please welcome Miss Myra Ndaba?
My name is Myra Ndaba, reporting from South Africa with the Pan-African news headlines for the Black World Media Network. Black America. Howard, Southern University, and other HBCUs receive bomb threats. At least 6 historically Black colleges and universities received bomb threats Monday morning, disrupting campus operations and launching police investigations. Southern University and A&M, Howard University, Bethune-Cookman University, Albany State University, Bowie State University, and Delaware State University all received bomb threats this morning, according to campus spokespeople or social media posts. Ahmaud Arbery's parents blast unauthorized backroom plea deal for son's killers. The parents of Ahmaud Arbery, the Georgia man who was killed in 2020 by a modern-day lynch mob in Georgia, blasted the plea deal that federal prosecutors reached with Greg McMichael, 66, and his son Travis McMichael, 35, over federal hate crimes. Under the deal, they will serve 30 years in what's called a preferred federal prison rather than a state penitentiary. Arbery's parents called it an unauthorized backroom deal that is a huge accommodation to the men who hunted down and murdered their son. Black women are taking control of the narrative, the road ahead as Biden commits to historic Supreme Court nomination. More than 100 influential Black women leaders thanked President Joe Biden in a letter for honoring his promise to nominate a Black woman to the Supreme Court, who, if confirmed, would be the first to ever sit on the bench. The letter, delivered to the White House Friday, is intended to both praise the president and express their readiness to mobilize around the eventual Black woman nominee ahead of what's expected to be a rough confirmation process. Africa. Namibians push for new German genocide compensation negotiations. Leaders of...
So use your imagination, right? So you turn on your radio or on your device or even on your television screen, your tablet, and you hear headline news, Pan-African style, from all over the Pan-African world, the Caribbean, from Central and South America, Canada, England, and you have this beautiful sister who's going to be reading the news for you. And in between, you know, I mean, you can do any kind of music you want, but you can get a little Bob Marley, a little Fela Kuti, you can get Miriam Makeba, you know, and you know, what about, you know, you can get all that great music in between. It's going to be inspiring and energizing as we move along, because we want you to feel good. We want you to be energized, but we are connecting our Black world. Programming that will be coming from Nigeria, programming from Senegal, programming from all over the Black world by various hosts. And we're talking about that a bit later. But then we want to use your imagination. This is, and then, you know, while you're there, you decide you're going to run around and you can see videos, you can pull up video clips. I mean, it is the, what do they call it? The bomb. They say it's dope. I don't like dope. But anyway, that's what the other says. Anyway, now I'd like to introduce to you Baba Akili. Baba Akili is a IBW board member. He is one of those persons who has hung in with Black Lives Matter LA. They have bestowed upon him the name Baba Akili. He didn't ask for it, but they so respected him because he was willing to spend time sharing his knowledge and learning in a learning, sharing environment, that they have bestowed him with the name Baba Akili. I have known him for many, from the Jackson campaign in 1988, when he came down to help us carry the South. And he's been with the Institute of the Black World 21st Century ever since, as the old folks say. And we be old folks, some of us now, and you know, whatever, so I can say that. But he is the baddest organizer on the planet. He's the organizer. And so I thought it would be good for him, having experienced so much and lived so much and done so many things, to just give us this perspective of just what this Black World Media Network means in terms of connecting our Black world. Baba Akili, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, Ron. And I'm glad to be on this panel and on this broadcast. And I want to say, first of all, congratulations to IBW and the Institute of the Black World 21st Century. This is a great way to start Black History Month. And I'm glad that we decided to do it now. And I want to say that the Black World Media Network is the beginning. It's the first step. It's a meaningful step. You know, there's this saying, knowledge is power. Well, it is. And you got to act on the power that you have or that you are building, being connected to people. And this is one of the things I enjoy about being part of IBW, is that we have made over the years these connections that from around the corner to around the world. And this is what the network is doing. It is building that. Think about listening to progressive music. Think about hearing the good news that's happening around the world. Think about how we connect and communicate with it and what it means to us. Think about how we break the isolation sometimes that we find ourselves in, and we ask ourselves this question, what's going on over there? We can find out now by tuning into the Black World Media Network. We can find out, we can break that isolation. We can communicate and coordinate, and we can build the power we need to make the transformative changes that we talk about. Because now we know, now we can say, well, if they can do it over there, we can do it over here. If we can be an example of the theme that we have here is when we fight, we win, well, other people can take from us. So the idea, the promotion of and the connection of our communities, our world communities, our Black communities, then I think we have made the progress. I am overjoyed to be here. But more importantly, what this signals is a new step for us. And I think many people have talked about this will go on. And Don, we want to acknowledge, we want to uplift, and we want to be reminded of your genius. And I'm glad to be in your company, brother. I'm glad that I can say, I know Don Rojas and I work with Don Rojas. I'm glad to be able to say that. But more importantly, I want to make sure that people get the name, get the link, and make sure you spend the time to listen, to hear, and to participate with the Black World Media Network and help us build the power we need and the power that we have to make the changes that we all say we need. So thank you once again to Ron, thank you once again to Don, and thank you once again to Rick. And because I'm on the board, that's the tone that I have. So I should probably go, thank you, Dr. Ron Daniels. Thank you, brother Ron, Don Rojas, and thank you, Mr. Chairman, Rick. And thank you all for being here. This is a great day, a great time, and great meeting. So thank you.
All right, Baba Akiti, the greatest organizer on the planet, if you will. Just been introduced, and he's still going strong, So you get a taste of that kind of enthusiasm. We also want to bring in another IBW board member at this point, who serves and has been with us for quite some time, hails from the great city of Washington, D.C., the last colony, or one of the last colonies. Unfortunately, we're going to free DC one of these days, and the Black World Media Network may be one of the galvanizing, motivating vehicles by which that gets done. She is a professional psychologist and a practicing psychologist, and really an extraordinary leader associated with the Institute of the Black World 21st Century. Would you please welcome Dr. Dr. Taiwan Lovelace.
Good evening, everyone. I am truly excited about this platform, this project. Congratulations to the Institute of the Black World 21st Century, as well as Don. You and your team have done an outstanding job, outstanding. We are literally reaching across the globe to connect Black people, and connection and collaboration are part of or centerpieces of our mission. I believe it says utilizing cooperative and collaborative strategies. Don, I feel like this platform is a manifestation of our mission, and it is doing an excellent job. If we think about the past couple of years, I was really thinking about this. The past couple of years have been isolating. Baba Keeley, you alluded to this. It has been isolating. And this is a 24/7 way of connecting across the globe. And connection and connecting is so healing for everyone. And it's healing on every sphere. And the other thing I thought about was we also are receiving information from trusted sources. That's another thing that popped into my head. We are actually getting information from trusted sources. So it's healing cognitively, it's healing emotionally, it's healing spiritually, it's healing in every way. So I'm just truly excited about the possibilities. I mean, literally, I can pick up my phone and stream this in my car. I mean, the possibilities are just endless. I can listen to Afro beats. I can listen to, music from France. I can listen to, music from all over the world. So this is truly an exciting vision. And Don, my head is off to you from infancy to now. And I was just also thinking about connecting our past to our present and to our future and how important that is. So again, connecting our Black world. I can't think of a better way to do this. And it's multimedia, that's genius level. Thank you again.
All right, Dr. Taiwan Lovelace, been with us a long time. We really, really appreciate it. And I can tell you that, there's more to come. We're just beginning. This is the infancy, right? And we're asking people who are tuned in on our various platforms. We see some on our website, but we're on Twitter and we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. So all of those platforms are moving. And so we're asking you to send your information in, ideas. You have your favorite music maybe and so forth. I mean, we want, this is Ujima, collective work and responsibility. We want you to help us get this done. Now, for example, one of the things that we're working on is a Black History Month project. At the end of the month, we're going to be bringing people together like we hope, Dr. Maulana Karenga and people like Dr. Leonard Jeffries and this brother Pierre Sané from over in Senegal and others, because there is no African History Month on the continent and there's no Caribbean History Month in the Caribbean. It's like we've all been victimized by the miseducation of the colonizer. So at the end of the month, one of the things we're going to have is this Pan-African panel of women and men across generations talking about how we promote the idea that by next year, when we do Black History Month, it'll be Black History Month in the Caribbean, Black History Month in Central and South America, and Black History Month on the continent, because we will have connected our Black world. Hey, that's going to really, really, really be a phenomenal kind of project. Now what we want to do is we want to bring Don back, and we have a couple of the people who are working with us who are going to be doing programming and contributing in various ways. George Fraser was one of them. He had to jump in and out, but we do have with us a couple of hosts and people who will be contributing. And Don's going to have a little conversation with them just to talk about what they're doing, what their ideas are, a little round table at this point. And that'll include Dr. Ife Azinwa, Reverend Dennis Dillon, and if Professor Sir Hilary Beckles is in the audience, and if he is, he'll be pulled in as well. So Don, I am pitching it to you for a round table to have just a chat with some of the people who are going to actually be doing programming on the Black world today as well. Don Rojas.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Daniels. Just about 15 minutes ago, I got a call from Sir Hilary Beckles' assistant with an apology, his apology, that he could not join us this evening. He has a family emergency. Evidently, his mother has fallen ill, and so he has had to deal with that situation. So he won't be joining us on this panel this evening. However, he has committed to participating in the Black History Month project that Dr. Daniels just spoke about later on in February, later on in Black History Month. I don't know if Sister NJ is here.
Yeah, Sister Ife is here. She's in the house, I think.
She is. I can't quite see her. Sister Ife, are you there? All right. Well, I'd like to invite Sister Ife Nzima. She is the founder and president and CEO of Echoes Africa. It's an organization working to empower and enlighten young girls of African descent. Also, I'm inviting a good friend of the Institute of Black World for many years, Reverend Dennis Dillon. Reverend Dillon is a publisher, CEO of the Christian Times publications, and he's the chief minister of the Brooklyn Christian Center. And Reverend Dillon is a huge proponent of global Black economic empowerment. Welcome to you, Reverend Dillon. Okay.
Thank you. My pleasure being with you, Don.
Thank you. Let me first of all go to Sister Ife. Could you tell us a little bit about your organization? It has a very inspiring goal, and also how you intend to engage with the Black World Media Network moving forward.
Thank you, Don, Brother Don. Appreciate this opportunity. And then I also appreciate what you are doing, leading us all to, this is like a dream come true, especially for us, looking up to your generation. We are hoping that we would learn from you so we could continue the race as much as we can. So I am the CEO of Echoes Media Project, and I am a journalist. I am a documentary filmmaker. I am a magazine editor. So we publish Echoes Africa magazine, and I also have a regular TV show, weekly TV show, broadcast back in Africa, in Nigeria, Namibia, and it's everything, all the platforms I have is basically to tell the African story. When I say the African story, it's stories of people of African descent. The stories that don't make it to the mainstream media, because of course, we all know that most of the stories about us that make it to the mainstream media is usually not in positive light. And I argue with people, people who don't look like us. I tell them that for every one negative story about people of African descent that you tell, there are several hundreds of others that go untold. And the narrative they choose to put out there appears to be what has defined us. So, and one of the things I realized is that for as long as we leave the storytelling in the hands of people who don't look like us, for as long as we are not on the driving seat to tell our own story, we will keep getting that narrative that it doesn't tell the true story of the people of African descent. So that's basically why I created these platforms. That's why I had to go back to school 2 years ago, because for me, it's a case of, if you want to do what other people are doing and you want to compete, go and learn what they know. So that's all I've been focusing on doing. So I have my magazine, I have the TV show, I have several other social media platforms. There's been a convergence in the media where you know, it's really, it's not about TV, it's not about radio, it's really telling stories. People picking up their cell phones in their hands and they're able to go to your app to read your articles. They're able to watch whatever you are doing and listen to podcasts and all. So that's really what I'm doing, and what I hope to bring on this platform to tell our story, to tell the stories of, today I just met a little girl of about 23. She's an artist, she works with Rite Aid, but she's doing a lot in the Bronx. Those stories don't make it to the mainstream media. So my passion is to tell those kind of stories that don't make it stories about our people, basically. And that's what I'll be bringing to the platform.
Wonderful. Thank you, sister. Reverend Dillon, you are a publisher of a newspaper, and you also have media experience beyond being a publisher. And I understand that you are going to be joining our network and hosting a monthly podcast. Please tell us what you'll be addressing in that monthly program.
Don, again, I just want to thank you, and let me just salute Dr. Ron Daniels and the entire board and leadership of IBW for this innovative work. I'm tickled to a great delight just the idea, the concept of the Black World Media Network is so critical, particularly when we understand the power of a voice. And I think we need to understand that power and the importance of the synchronization of the Black world is really what I'm seeing in all of this, just the ability to link our people globally. I have done some work because my motivation really came from major corporations doing business in our community, regardless of where they're doing the business in our communities across the globe. And they're always pulling the data that they need to do business with us too. And obviously we get treated as the consumers, and they have all the information and all of the resources and the capacity to effectively do that. So the commitment that we have through what we're doing, we do a number of publications, Don, and Christian Times publications. We have about 23 book titles that we have published. So we also are book publishers, but the specific publication that I want to speak to is we do a report, an annual report. We do a New York report. We do a U.S. report. And then we do what we call the Economic State of the Black World report. And there's just so much information, and we want to be able to share that information. Forbes came out just last week with the fact that there's a Black man out of Zimbabwe who last year, the year before last, he was worth about $1.3 billion. And Forbes report says he's now $3.7 billion. How many know about Strive, Masiwa, and the work that he's doing with Econet, one of the largest Black-owned, Black-run telephone mobile network that's on the continent of Africa. So these are just a sampling of some of the stuff we want to bring to the forefront.
Great, thank you so much. We look forward to you sharing your knowledge, your expertise, your insights with the readers and the viewers and the listeners of the Black World Media Network. Sister Fia, final question. We got to move on here. You talked about the stories that do not get reported, that are happening in our communities all across the US, all across the world, at the grassroots level, at the level of ordinary Black people in the United States, in the communities of African descent, in the global Black diaspora. Can you expand a little bit on that concept of a new form of journalism, digital in this case, that addresses the lives of the issues that are of concern to ordinary folk across the Black world today?
Thank you, Brother Don. Yes, some of the things or some of the stories about the ordinary people that don't get told are some of the, for me, like in the Bronx, I've worked a lot in the Bronx. I've my organization, we do things not just in Africa, we do a lot of things here too amongst our communities. And there are lots of people, usually when you listen to the news, you watch the news, the mainstream media, and you get stories out of the Bronx. You get stories about is either the junkie or people, the criminals and all of that. But like the little girl I mentioned, not so little, that I mentioned earlier, this girl is doing so much in the community. She is volunteering with lots of organizations. She's an artist, and she's teaching kids. She's trying to take kids off the streets. So she's engaging them, teaching them how to paint, how to draw, and all of that. She's doing all of that. But if, say, one of the main news outlets go to the Bronx, they are not talking to people like that. They are not bringing out the news. They're not telling stories about people like that. So right. I would say, yes, we know things that are just like in every society, there are certain negative things, but there are also the positives. There are those stories are the stories that will even inspire the younger generation to do better. Those are stories that would inspire people to actually get out there and help and get kids off the streets. So those are the kind of stories that I am committed to telling, that I feel we should tell, which is why this platform, this IBWN News Network is so important. These are stories that we can use to talk about things like that, talk about people like that in our communities.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to have to wrap it up now, but I wanted to just let the audience know that on our website, on the Black World Media Network's website, right on the front page, there is a video player where you can search and find videos from all over the continent of Africa, from African communities around the world, that focus on the daily lives of our sisters and brothers at the grassroots level. You would not be able to find those kinds of videos, I don't think, on any other news and information website. So that is one of the gems of this network that we are very proud to be able to provide. So thank you, Sister Ife, and thank you, Reverend Dillon. We look forward to working with both of you closely in the weeks and months ahead. Dr. D, back to you.
And thank you for your great work, Don.
All right, yeah, and by the way, we really are kind of, Dr. Ife knows that I'm one of her big fans. You have got to read Echoes Africa. It is gorgeous, beautifully done. And we're really counting on her to recruit more people, to give us features, and to bring more women and younger women into the fold. So she knows I'm always encouraging her, because she just does a wonderful job. And this State of Black Economic World report, I'm telling you, it is also gorgeously done. But the most important thing is the startling information that the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey would be proud of, because he told us about how the wealth that we have, and if we harnessed it, what it could do. And that leads me to the next person who is going to has a little solidarity message. He is in his own right an icon, a global icon, as I found as we traveled with him. One of the great things in my life recently was to go to Africa with Reverend Dennis Dillon for the door of our return, and to be able to hang out with Dr. Julius Garvey and George Fraser for 21 days. I mean, that was like a thrilling experience. And I recognize that Dr. Julius Garvey, not only because he's the son of Marcus Garvey, but because he has been pursuing the work of his father, is universally recognized and respected. And he is launching Garvey Television, Garvey TV. And we will have a partnership between Garvey TV and the Black World Media Network. So let's hear from Dr. Julius Garvey.
Good evening, everyone, or good afternoon, whatever time this gets shown. I'd like to congratulate both Ron Daniels and Don Rojas for their work to bringing this forward, the Black World Media Network, which I think is of great importance. It continues the work of the Institute of the Black World 21st Century. But it brings it to a larger community of Africans around the world. And this is significant work that has been done. I know particularly the technical aspect of it by Don Rojas, who has worked over time, both in TV and radio, as well as print media. So he's an expert in these areas, and he's brought together an expert team to put forward, the Black World Media Network, which is sorely needed. because other people are telling our stories, whether it's CNN or Fox News or what have you. But we need to tell our own stories. We need to accumulate our own news, and we need to decide what our news is that's important for us to transmit. And we also need to transmit our own culture from the perspective of our own lens. And certainly this is what Marcus Garvey advocated in terms of his organization, the UNIA and ACL, and in terms of his newspaper, The Negro World, which gave us Black consciousness here in the United States, which led, of course, to the Harlem Renaissance and to Black is Beautiful, the aesthetic of the Black Renaissance, etc., the Harlem Renaissance. So it's sorely needed for us to be able to link a network as a worldwide community. Again, this was the idea of Marcus Garvey in terms of his Negro World newspaper, which was the major newspaper weekly of his time from 1919 to 1933, reaching as many as 75,000 people weekly, which was the major newspaper, Negro newspaper in the United States and of course around the world at that time. So we need a global network, and it looks like Black World Media Network is rising up to fulfill this particular need. So I'd like to congratulate Ron Daniels and Don Rojas, and we'll be working with them in terms of our Garvey TV platform, which is a media platform. We'll be collaborating, and I'm very pleased to say that we've worked with Ron for many, many years. I don't know how many of you know that Ron ran for president at one time, and I was one of his supporters. And maybe for the next Democratic elections, I shouldn't say next elections, we'll put Ron up now to succeed President Biden. I don't know if you're up to the task now, Ron, but you've been doing a wonderful job, and I'm very pleased to participate in this inaugural session of Black World Media Network. Thank you so much for all that you have done for us as African people, and all that the good work that you continue to do. And thank you also, Don Rojas.
Okay, all right, Dr. Julius Garvey. And let me just say that it is important to note that there is a major campaign underway to exonerate, to right a wrong, an injustice inflicted by that, I don't even want to say his name, that J. Edgar guy. The Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey was the first victim of COINTELPRO, so to speak, back in the day. And we want his name cleared. And one of our dear beloved sisters, Nkechi Taifa and Justin Hansford, and working with Dr. Julius Garvey, has launched a major campaign to exonerate the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, and the Black World Media Network, certainly Institute of the Black World 21st Century, Pan-African Unity Dialogue are fully on board. And we hope all of you will be too, in order to have a robust movement to exonerate the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. So I wanted to take the opportunity to just say that at this particular point. So we really thank Dr. Garvey for joining us, and we are looking forward to this relationship. Now, as we drive towards our conclusion, there are some really, really wonderful people who are working with Don Rojas. And let me just say that we want to have Don come back. Before we do that, I do know that we received from all the way from Trinidad, one of the great leaders in Trinidad took time to send us a video message as well. I had the privilege of meeting with him. I had heard he was a legend, and I had met with him. I had the opportunity to meet him when Don facilitated the introduction, and I went and I had a chance to meet him. So we hope we have it ready to go, and as we get ready to bring Don on, to just briefly introduce his staff or the team that's going to be working on this. And it's skeletal, it's small, but it's powerful, and we're going to build it out. But let's hear the message all the way from Trinidad from David Abdulah.
Greetings and solidarity. I'm David Abdulah, political leader of the Movement for Social Justice, the MSJ, here in Trinidad and Tobago. And I wish to extend heartiest congratulations to the Black World Media Network for this great launch of a very important mechanism of communication and information so that we could share our stories, understand our realities throughout the diaspora, and through this help to build our movements and develop and strengthen solidarity. My congratulations to my friend and comrade, Don Rojas, who initiated this project, this being his legacy endeavor, and to my friend and brother, Ron Daniels, for his inspirational leadership of the Black World Network. Let us move forward ever, backward never.
That was David Abdulah. Looked like he had the Citadel in the background. I recognize that building, and we've been there many, many, many times. I may be wrong, but that looked like the Citadel. And so, Don, as we get ready to wrap things up, we have Sister Minister Afia Dawson from the historic House of the Lord Church, the Reverend Herbert Daughtry and Dr. Karen Daughtry Stadium in the wings, ready to just sort of fire us up, IBW board member. But we do want to have an opportunity to just let the audience know the people who've been laboring with you. Of course, Herb Boyd was here for us a minute. I think he had to drop off and whatever, but there's a team that you have working with you. Would you be kind enough to introduce your team to our audience?
Thank you, Dr. Daniels. It would be my pleasure to introduce a group of stellar, talented, and committed individuals who have come together with me to try to make this vision of ours a reality. And they've been working tirelessly over the last several months as we built the infrastructure that led to the creation of our website and our other platforms, social media, etc. So it is my pleasure now to introduce them. First of all, let me introduce Brother Rennie Bishop. Rennie, are you on the screen? There you go. Brother Rennie Bishop is a legend in his own right, a radio legend. You might say he used to be the program director at WWRL, in New York, AM station, which was, of course, very instrumental back in the day in terms of bringing a range of progressive programming to the New York audience. Brother Rennie also has that very unique baritone voice that is so rich, and you will be able to hear his voice often on the Black World Media Network's radio station. He's going to be working with us as a program associate. So Rennie, can you just tell us in a quick minute or two your perspective on the work that we have done and will continue to do in the weeks ahead?
Well, Don, full respect to you, of course, and to Professor. One of the areas at WWRL was bringing the information and simplifying it so people understand it. Usually when you put together a platform or a program, folks ask you what new are you coming with. Sometimes you don't need to come with anything new. You need to look at what is right there to explain. It is true that the more information we have now, and we do have that, the more we have instant coffee readers. We have people who just read headlines and they run with it. So we understand there is a need for us to bring the issue and really spend time detailing it so folks can follow it and not just have a headline and run with it. In addition to what I'm excited about with this concept is that all the information is in one place. You can go all over the internet and find pieces of information, but on the Black World site, what you get is a chance to have all the information right there. One of the final things I want to say that is really exciting about this is very often you have people sitting in an office, sitting in a studio, sitting in any one place, opining as to what is going on in another part of the world. What the Black World Media Network is doing is going there and having you live it from the people and hear it from the people who are there. And that way, I think it is bringing it home with a different understanding. And all the areas that have been articulated thus far of us learning about each other, there is no better way to do that than to actually have the views and the experience of the people themselves bring it to us. That's what I'm excited about.
Great. Thank you, Brother Rennie. Next, I would love to introduce you to Dr. Todd Burrows. Dr. Burrows is a professor of journalism and media studies. He's also a writer and a commentator. And he is working with us in the capacity of news editor and a researcher. Dr. Burrows and I go back all the way to the days of the Amsterdam News when I was the editor there back in New York, and he was a regular contributor to the Amsterdam News. When I moved from the Amsterdam News to go to the NAACP to establish a communications department at the NAACP, Dr. Burrows joined me in that endeavor. And now, after 20 years of collaboration, we find ourselves working together again in the Black World Media Network. So I'm just delighted that we have him and his talent and at our disposal. So Todd, a quick word from you.
Don, we worked together so long. I mean, you were a middle-aged man when I first met you, and I was a young boy, and now I'm old. The only thing I'm going to say is what I would say to you personally. In fact, I was about to text this to you had I been on the next person. I am so happy that you are getting the attention and credit and accolades that you so richly deserve with this project. I've been very happy to hear the comments that people have made tonight. And, you know, whenever you and Herb even just talk to each other in front of me, I get very touched by that, because I know the very serious struggles that both of you have had and the struggles that you've had together. And it's really a very, very deep and serious thing, because we know we almost lost you a few years ago. And this community led by Dr. Ron Daniels basically rallied to save your life. And I will always be grateful to Dr. Daniels for that. And the fact that you are still here for us and still doing the same role with the great humility and the great management style that you have, I'm very appreciative of that. And I'm really glad that you're getting all of these flowers while you are still here. Because the fact that you are still here, I think, is very important. So I just wanted to say that.
Thank you, Todd, and all thanks and praises to God and the ancestors for keeping me around for a few more years, hopefully. Thank you, Todd. Next up, I'd like to introduce Michael Codrington. Michael and I go back a long ways, actually, to the days of the Black World Today and the late 1990s. He worked with our team back then. He's come back to work with us again, this time in the capacity of our live stream manager. And we are delighted he is a man who has put together the technical stuff. He and working with Rennie have really built the Black World radio component of the network. And so that is his primary responsibility. Also on the video streaming side, he is going to be developing a daily video stream that will be seen on over-the-top devices such as Roku and Apple TV and Fire TV. So that's coming down the road, not too long from now. You'll be able to download those apps and you'll be able to see the video products of the Black World Media Network on your own television set. So Michael, a word or two from you.
Well, I will say that I was honored to be requested to join you, Brother Rojas, Brother Daniels, Todd. We go back so many years. Herb Boyd. This is technology at its finest, reaching out across the globe, and I'm just really proud and enthusiastic to be a part of it. Most people know that I'm a person of few words, so I stay in the back end and just make sure that everything runs smoothly. So thank you again for everybody, and looking forward to great things ahead.
Thank you, Michael. Next up is our youngest team member. His name is Judah Graham. And Judah is responsible for posting content to the website, literally dozens of stories every day. And he's also responsible for monitoring the security of our website. He is a cybersecurity expert, this young man. He's very well credentialed. So Judah, a quick word from you.
Yeah, so just want to thank you for joining the team. When you brought it up to me, it was a challenge. It was a challenge to, build this website out that I never used the platform, but of course, over the months, I gained experience to build it to what it is today. I always heard the stories from back when you, Sean, both started with TBW. I always would hear the stories, and that it's an honor that I'm now being incorporated with TBWT 2.0, as we dub it, to see it actually come to life. And just reading the news articles as I'm posting it, I'm excited to see where this project goes, and I really hope that it just blows up in the future.
Thank you, Judah. We are excited to have you on board. But finally, but certainly not last, I would like to introduce another member of our core team, and no less a person than the chairman of the IBW Board of Directors, Brother Rick Adams. Brother Rick, quick word from you.
Just that I'm very grateful to be included in this undertaking, and I just feel I'm among so many powerful and visionary brothers and sisters, with Dawn, as has been said correctly, you at the top. I'll repeat again, I live every day. I got my coffee, but I was T, B, W, the Black World Today, and this is going to be bigger and greater. It's a fulfillment. Truth crushed the earth, rises triumphant. It's here.
Thank you, Jim and Rick. Back to you now, Dr. D.
All right. Well, we're going to move. Oops. We're going to move towards conclusion. Let me just say that there were others who would like to have joined us tonight. Milton Alamati with the Black Star News. He's teaching a class tonight. Gina Page, some of you may know, has African ancestry, which is really about tracing our African roots and building out our sense of knowing who we are and with a kind of Pan-African connectivity. Dr. Brenda Green is the convener of the annual Black Writers Conference that has become really a major conference every year. She's teaching, she's at Medgar Evers College, she's teaching tonight, but she is committed to doing a program as well. And I had a conversation with someone who was back in the day, but not so far back in the day, a guy named Tavis Smiley. And Tavis Smiley has a daily show on the radio platform that he's developed out in Los Angeles. He said, Ron, I don't want to create any new content. I am just going to gift my daily show to the Black World Media Network so that you will be able to replay it on the Black World Media Network every day. So that's a great thing because we want to get that content. So there's a lot of very exciting things happening moving forward. Now I want to quickly move to our conclusion. Again, it's been really, really great to have this conversation. And again, I want to say it is unique. It is Pan-African. I think Renee Bishop pointed out one of the other things is you can get everything in one place. And that's really, 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 really wonderful that we're able to do that. That's the uniqueness of it. There are other people who are doing parts of this, and we commend them. It's not a competitive thing, but it is a collaborative project. And we have come up with an idea of getting everything in one spot. Now to give us an inspirational whatever she would like to do, because she's a bad sister, strong sister going back, saying, well, it's okay to be back in the day as long as you're also up here in front in the day, going all the ways back to the East, G2 with UC in the East and all those good days, getting her African-centeredness developed. She is, we're proud of her because we are so proud of the Reverend Herbert Daughtry and the historic House of the Lord Church, when back in the day it was fired up and can't take it no more. And his queen, his partner, Reverend Dr. Karen Daughtry. And so she hails from the historic House of the Lord Church, and she is a member of the board of the Institute of the Black World 21st Century. So we're going to turn the floor over to you to give us whatever inspirational benediction, however you want to say it. Please, Minister Afia Dawson, you have the floor.
Greetings, greetings, greetings in the matchless name of our Savior and Lord Jesus Christ. I bring you greetings and congratulations from Bishop Emeritus Pastor Herbert Daughtry, from our current Bishop Leah Daughtry, and from Pastor Karen Daughtry, from all the members of the House of the Lord Church. Congratulations to IBW. We are doing God's work here at IBW, and we are so very excited and godly proud to be able to take things to the next level communication-wise. We've had newspaper, we got radio, we got TV, we got forums, we've had conferences, and now we have the Black World Media Network. In the Bible, God asked, "Who shall I send?" And we here at IBW have answered that call. Here am I, Lord, send me. And we're not joking, we're not playing, we're not half-stepping. When we say, "Here I am, Lord, send me," that's what we mean. And we are doing our utmost in service to our people, to meet the needs of our people. And we all know the biblical quote coming from Hosea 4:6. "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." And we know that today we turn on the TV and we don't know what's true, what's not true. We listen to the radio, and I don't know about you, but I'm so confused. I just refuse to listen to TV news anymore. It is just too much. It is too depressing. It is too confusing. And I don't believe most of what I hear. So now we have an opportunity to finally launch our own international radio station, Black World Media Network, all news, all day, every day, and whatever you want. Like we say at the House of the Lord, it's in the house. So if you want to hear some music, we got it. You want news, we got it. And I just thought of something because I like fashion. Maybe we're going to have us a couple of fashion shows too. At least we're going to get to see what's hot and what's happening in the Black world besides blonde wigs and pink hair. Okay? We're going to have a chance to see what is going on with our people all over the world. Do you understand how serious that is? All over the world, and we're going to get to hear the news from people we trust. I know that our ancestors are having a party right now. I know that the great cloud of heavenly witnesses and our Lord, our God, is happy that we've picked up the mantle, and we pray that they will continually bless us and support us in this ever important endeavor, in this work that we have taken upon ourselves to do, that we have said, "Yes, Lord, send me." And we know that where God sends you, he equips you. So this is not going to be some, jive, look like, "Oh, excuse us today, we can't get it." We got this together, and we're going to do this. We are doing this. So tune in, put on your seatbelts, and get ready, because we are launching. Are you ready? Are you coming with us?
Right.
Are you coming? I don't know about you, but I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right. Sister Minister Afia Dawson, what a rousing close in terms of the launch. Again, we thank all of you who joined us on the IBW website, but even more so, we know we have huge following on Twitter and Instagram and all the other platforms, and Facebook, all the other platforms that we have. We hope that you will spread the word that the Black World Media Network is here. There is more to come. This is just the beginning. We're counting on you sending your ideas, and like with this fashion show, we can do all those things right here on this network, and it belongs to you. We're not asking you for no subscriptions. We're not charging you anything to get this done. We will have to get this done through philanthropy, through foundations, through sponsorships, and that kind of thing, because we want everybody to be able to have this as we move forward, as we connect our Black world. So once again, we thank you so much Again, a big shout out to our leader, our visionary, Don Rojas. Let's give it up for him. Let's give him a great collective hand clap to all the staff and everybody who's worked on it. And we say, stay tuned. We've launched. It's a luta continua. It's forward ever. And we ain't going back. It's forward ever. Thank you so much for tuning in to the launch of the Black World Media Network.